Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of the Opposition, and Honourable Members of Parliament, I rise in support of the 2016-2017 National Budget as delivered by the Honourable Minister of Finance. Madam Speaker, Fiji Affairs Government is committed to redoubling its effort to get Fijians and our beloved Fiji back on its feet from the effects of the tropical cyclone Winston, as reflected in the 2016-2017 budget. Madam Speaker, it is designed towards rebuilding Fiji after the crisis that redefined natural disasters globally. This is a budget which addresses our economic growth. It is also designed to rebuild Fiji. Fiji's future is being rebuilt in the face of adversity. This is a budget bound to stand the test of time. It will rebuild our nation as we grow towards a stronger and resilient new age economy. At the outset, I wish to acknowledge and congratulate the Honourable Minister of Finance and his team for crunching the numbers and coming up with a people-first budget. It is a budget of many firsts in its journey. For the first time, we had a direct consultation with high school students, the leaders of tomorrow, and the disabled communities. First time the budget was being announced at night, live to people's home over our free-to-air TV station. Finally, Madam Speaker, it is a Fiji first budget. The 2016 bill is a strong economic plan, not just a simple budget. While looking after the overall economic health and growth of our nation and meet the needs of fellow Fijians. So, Madam Speaker, this is an all-inclusive budget that creates and establishes opportunities for Fijians to make their own choice for their own good. Madam Speaker, to me and my ministry, this budget is a clear pathway to sustainability and progress in all areas of our operation. In the words of the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, I quote, "Sustainable development is the pathway to the future we want for all," unquote. It offers a framework to generate economic growth, achieve social justice, and strengthen governance. Madam Speaker, it is an expression of confidence in our fiscal policies that we believe in all Fijians and that together we will punch well above our weight even during times of adversity. A point that the Honourable Prime Minister and the Honourable Minister of Finance have made at several points over the past years. Madam Speaker, in the interest of clarity, I will break down my address as they relate to the various sections under my ministry. Madam Speaker, the Department of Local Government is tasked to improve local governance. The key focus for the Department of the Local Government, I'm coming to that, government for the 2016-2017 financial year and beyond is to strengthen and modernize municipal operations, improving well-being programs, strengthen the economic base in towns and cities, and take a lead role in making local communities more disaster resilient. This role is of critical importance given the lessons learned from Winston. Madam Speaker, I am delighted that this government has considered some new initiatives for the department to implement in order to improve the service delivery at the municipal level. Madam Speaker, 116,000 has been allocated to cater for the declaration of Navua town and the town management support. Madam Speaker, drainage and flood mitigation is one area that our municipal councils face major challenges with. An allocation of $900,000 is given to assist the municipal councils to upgrade drainage and creeks upkeep for all the 14 municipal councils, and not forgetting the new Navua town. The poor drainage conditions have led to the increase in the flooding and stormwater in town areas, which needs to be upgraded to mitigate flood risks. Madam Speaker, I would like to acknowledge the continued funding of $4 million through the Challenge Fund. The funding has been useful to the department in assisting the small and medium municipal councils and their local communities in various identified areas and brings immediate benefits in the facilities, services, and amenities. The focus for this year will be on the rehab of the infrastructure works and other new developments in municipal councils to strengthen the economic base in towns and cities. Madam Speaker, I also acknowledge the continued support grant to the National Fire Authority in the provision of 3.6 million in expanding the number of fire stations around the country to equip them with the necessary tools to conduct operation. Madam Speaker, as we all saw the extent of which Tropical Cyclone Winston shocked our people, and apart from the damages, it also left a reinforced will for us to create resilient cities and towns. We will utilize the relevant allocation towards city and town planning that is inclusive of all stakeholders. My ministry, Madam Speaker, has embarked on fruitful discussion between land-owning units towards a more inclusive and empowering collaboration and partnership between government and landowners in the new town developments proposed for Nambuwalu, Sanganga, and Kayasi. You don't worry. Half of the time you are not here. Madam Speaker, whilst we strive to create new towns, it is equally important that we manage the existing ones as highlighted in the Urban Policy Action Plan 2007. An allocation of 500,000 has been allocated to implement the activities of the youth. Madam Speaker, strongly embedded in this plan are plans for sustainable integrated urban, encouraging high density development and vertical growth. This includes residential, commercial, and industrial areas considering the infrastructure and transport provisions. Madam Speaker, next I turn to the area of housing. As we are all aware, the 2013 Constitution requires government to use its available resources to gradually ensure the right of every person to adequate housing. Madam Speaker, the allocation to housing will enable the whole housing sector to work effectively in the provisions of decent and affordable homes. Madam Speaker, the Housing Authority, the Public Rental Board, the Housing Assistance Relief Trust, and the People's Community Network continue to play a critical role in meeting government's objective. The focus on housing support to all Fijians has been and will increase towards the low and middle income segment of our people. The various allocations are presented in the budget at hand will further the Fiji Affairs government's commitment towards ensuring housing for all Fijians. This includes initiatives under the PRB for low to medium earners, including the first ever rent to buy model being rolled out in 2016-2017. Madam Speaker, in line with the Bill of Rights relating to housing and sanitation in the 2013 Constitution, and to control the growth of informal settlement, the government had allocated $2.13 million for the squatter settlement upgrading program in the last 2 years. Under this program, my ministry is currently undertaking 7 squatter settlement upgrading projects, namely Omkar to be completed in December 2016, Dombati in Nasinu, Duvu in Singatoka, Lendusasa in Nendi, Sasavira in Nasori, Namara in Lambasa, and Nakama in Sabu Sabu. Further to this, Madam Speaker, government has proposed another $3 million in 2017 for the town-wide informal settlement upgrading program along the Lemisuva-Nasori corridor with a total of 1,200 residential lots to be subdivided. Currently, 4 engineering consultants are preparing the subdivision scheme plans for approving authorities' decision and later prepare the engineering plans for roads, sewerage, water, and electricity reticulation and drainage and residential allotments. Madam Speaker, government assistance to the first-time owners began in 2015 and will continue under the current budget allocation to provide much-needed incentive for the disadvantaged ownership. Madam Speaker, the Department of Environment is a key player in monitoring and implementing policies to ensure sustainable human and environment interaction. The department plays a key role in determining such impact at a local and national level. The allocation to the Department of Environment is crucial in maintaining standards and ensuring further sustainability. Madam Speaker, I next turn to the Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport, who have been equally glad of the well-considered budget it has been allocated to deliver its services. Most importantly, my ministry will work hard to provide critical infrastructure such as roads, jetties, bridges, and delivery of basic services such as water supply and electricity to the most needy among Fijians. Madam Speaker, as outlined earlier, in the interest of clarity, I will speak on the budget provision affecting three main sectors under this ministry, namely transport, water, and energy. Honourable Assistant Minister will speak on the maritime, transport, government shipping services, Department of Works, and Met services. Madam Speaker, Fiji Roads Authority was established as an independent entity in 2013 and embarked on a program to improve the state of nation's roads. Fiji Roads Authority was allocated a total budget of $527.2 million with an increase of rural roads funding of $56.9 million. This is a good news for our rural communities, as better road network means access to market and developments. Madam Speaker, with more importance on continuous betterment of rural roads to improve the livelihood of our rural communities, Ministry also ensures ongoing maintenance and regular replacement of existing roads, bridges and jetties to avoid these assets falling into disrepair. And in this regard, I welcome the $79.8 million for the maintenance program, of which $38.2 million is allocated to upgrade and maintain bridges in both rural and urban areas, and $7.4 million allocated to renew and maintain jetties, maintenance and renewals. Madam Speaker, there has been a lot said about Fiji Roads Authority in the last session and this morning, but anybody who wants to talk about FRA, first they should know the number of jetties that we have, the number of Irish crossings that we have, the number of bridges that we have, and the total kilometers of roads that we have in this country. I don't have to come in this parliament and tell people such as Honorable Prasad about the allocation, because this allocation is not going to be there year in, year out. Let's understand, this is the fact. There will come a time when this amount will be reduced, because by then all the roads will be done in the country. It's so simple. So simple. So simple. But I know where's the problem. It took me some time to know this problem. And the problem is that they're finding very difficulty to understand how this Minister of Finance can do all these things. Because wherever they go, during growth, they're saying, oh, we have got a very good roads now. This is what they can't digest. This is the problem that they have. And this is the real problem. We will wait for 2018, we will wait for another 4 years, and then another 4 years. Don't worry, Honorable Prasad. Many of our bridges, Madam Speaker, are weak as a result of overloading. This will be taken care of by the $4.5 million allocated for urgent repair of 9 high-priority bridges. Madam Speaker, $500,000 dedicated to the urgent upgrade of Ellington Wharf. This is important given the increased development and economic activities in the Western and Northern Division, where it's also becoming a major port of entry for people traveling to North and from North. Madam Speaker, we are working on upgrading and maintaining our existing roads, jetties and bridges, and building new and better ones to last longer. Let me repeat, last longer. Fiji Roads Authority has made significant improvements in our roading network. For example, since its inception in 2013, they have completed, listen, they have completed the construction of new 6 bridges, 5 jetties, including 190 meters of granite jetty, opened by the Honorable Prime Minister in your village, improving transport access for many Fijians. So what really saddens me, that at one point in time, you people are coming in this Honorable House asking about Vatwanga jetty, Vatwanga bridge, Reki bridge, this road, that road. Then why are you asking for reduction on the FRE budget? What for? And this morning during tea time, I was very happy to consider Honorable Leader of Opposition's request about the road that to be done, because he was very polite. Madam Speaker, not like Honorable Prasad. Madam Speaker, the LTA in its 2016-2017 budget has been allocated a total of 25.5 million, of 19 million for operating expenses and 6.5 million for capital expenditure. Madam Speaker, 780,000 has been allocated for the rebuilding of its Lambasa Customer Service Office, Administration Office and Inspection site, which was destroyed by the fire in 2013. This is aimed to enhance customer service delivery for the people in North. Together with this new office, a new fully automated motor vehicle inspection system will also be installed. Madam Speaker, government is making an all-out effort to improve road safety in Fiji. As a responsible government, funding has been provided towards promoting safer roads across Fiji that would see implementation of and enhance awareness campaigns and outreach programs. LTA will continue to strengthen its enforcement and compliance in areas of overloading, speeding and illegal operation. In this regard, 1.4 million has been allocated for the installation of roadside web bridge at certain locations to assist in the enforcement of overloaded vehicles with the aim to reduce expenditure on road maintenance. Also, Madam Speaker, 700,000 has been allocated for the installation of red light and speed cameras. Madam Speaker, water is essential to our livelihood, and I note and welcome the 308.6 million allocated to the Water Authority of Fiji. In 2010, Water Authority of Fiji took over responsibility for providing access to quality drinking water and wastewater services to residential and non-residential metered customers. This is largely in urban areas and setting up water supply systems in rural areas. As I mentioned earlier, Madam Speaker, having access to basic services such as water supply and electricity has always been one of the top priorities of Fiji First Government, and in particular for our rural communities who have been neglected by the past government for far too long. Madam Speaker, the importance of this is reflected in the 2016-2017 as 7.5 million has been allocated for the rural water program. This is an important initiative, and it will interest the House to know that the Department of Water and Sewerage has established 58 EPS systems in rural areas providing clean and safe water to numerous communities across Fiji since the project commenced in 2012. Madam Speaker, 18.4 million has been budgeted for the rural electrification, including the extension of the electricity grid. The government also no longer requires community contribution to government's rural electrification. And Madam Speaker, may I inform the House that all those who have contributed in the past years, Ministry is refunding their deposit. It is worthwhile noting that since the election of this government, we have provided 5,750 solar home systems, which has brought power to numerous communities. This has improved their quality of life as it provides energy for cooking, light for children's school children, studying at night, and other productive issues. But let me say, there has to be more work done in this area, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm happy to inform the House that the policy on free water will continue in the new financial year. It targets households with combined member income of $30,000, and to date, around 25,338 households have been benefited from this policy. To conclude, Madam Speaker, The 2016-2017 budget is inclusive, and it lays a platform to turn our economic direction towards hope, confidence, and a better future for all. Madam Speaker, I thank the Ministry of Finance for the budget allocation given to all this valuable work being undertaken by my ministry, as outlined in my address.
Honourable Minister, I thank you.
Madam Speaker, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Members, thank you.